What up, people? It's your boy Chid from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time it is Eagle Eye, the transfer rumor show, where I talk to you about rumors and news surrounding the Arsenal. I hope you guys are well. Big up to everyone that is watching. Obviously, I've come on a bit early because I know I'm doing another one later, and that one's going to be the fantasy football one. So I figured I'd do a quick Eagle Eye show now and then do a longer fantasy football one, obviously later on, when we're building up the team. But I hope you guys are well. Please do stick a like on this video. Hit the subscribe button. You know what we do, man. You know what we do by now. As soon as you come in, it's free, it's easy, it helps the show. You've done your good deed for the day. We all win. We all win. All right, let's get into it very, very quickly. Let's talk about Kolasinac. The free transfer from Schalke from 2017, I want to say. Yeah, this was the player that Wenger described as outstanding. Remember that? A player who we signed on a free transfer and someone who we thought, yeah, okay, this guy, maybe he could be the real deal because he's part of the Bundesliga team of the year. And because he's part of the Bundes team of the year, there ain't no way he's going to be crap, right? Well, how wrong were we? I think people always kind of gave him credit, and we always do this. Whenever there's an attacking fullback, we tend to overlook some of their glaring flaws, particularly when it comes to defense, because the way we see it is, well, as long as they're good going forward, who cares what they're doing going back? I'll give you a very good example. Earlier in the summer, we were linked with former Real Madrid right back, who was on loan at Dortmund last year, Hakimi. Now, Hakimi is someone who is notoriously known as an attacking fullback, someone who is very, very proficient going forward, scores goals, grabs a lot of assists, and someone who, quite frankly, I would have loved to have replaced Hector Bellerin. Notice I'm the one saying that. You guys know I like my defenders who can defend. And even I was saying I really wanted them. Now, part of that, sure, is because I want rid of Hector Bellerin. But I could see in that particular instance, I could see his positive outweighing his negative. This guy is by no means a crap defender, but if you had to choose a strength, it's most certainly his attacking prowess. Kolasinac has never been that. He's never been able to cross. He gets to the byline, and more often than not, he panics. Now, someone is bound to point out to me that the season before this past one that was finished, I think he grabbed like 8 assists or something. I think that was Iwobi's last season with Arsenal because for some weird reason, him and Iwobi combined really well. So for Emery's first season, he grabbed quite a few assists because of that. And that is by no means a reason to say he's good. Because I'll tell you what, some of them assists were more luck out of judgment. You can tell that by just the fact that more often than not, he gets to the byline and he has no idea what to do. My biggest frustration with Kolasinac, whenever he got to that byline, was he'd get to the byline, he'd keep his head down, and then it's like he just crossed the ball. He wouldn't look at who he's crossing it to. You just get to the byline, keep his head down, and cross the ball. And more often than not, it hits the first man and then goes out for a corner. Highly, highly frustrating. And quite frankly, not at all what was advertised when we got him in 2017. And unfortunately for him, it's just never really worked out since then. And quite frankly, you know, in a summer where you're looking to get rid of the deadwood, Kolasinac is high on my list of people that we should be getting rid of. I think from his perspective, I think he knows that he's in trouble when someone who's not even a left back plays over him. And I think perhaps the realization for when Kolasinac time, when everybody realized that Kolasinac time as an Arsenal player was up, was when we played the North London derby. I don't know what he was thinking. Tried to pass the ball back to David Luiz. I mean, it's just tweedledee and tweedledum. I know people said I was being harsh on Luiz, and don't get it twisted, it was more Kolasinac than Luiz. I still think Luiz had some blame. Tried to pass it back to Luiz. Luiz was completely wrong-footed, didn't know where Kolasinac was going, slipped. Before you knew it, it was 2-1. And things like that, at some point, even in an Arsenal fan's memory, you get to the point where you're just like, oh, enough is enough of this. And that's what it's come down to with Kolasinac. The boy is only 27, He literally just turned 27. His birthday was in June. It's sometimes in these type of situations, it's easy to forget how young some of these guys are. 27 years old. But it's never worked out. On top of the fact that I think he's on £150,000 a week. Remember, he came in as a free contract. So my man was able to demand what he wanted. And obviously, Ivan the Weasel and Wenger were at the helm. So he's going to get what he wants. So you got 150 grand a week. And we've never seen 150 grand a week worth of player there. I firmly believe in getting the quality that you deserve. And we've never had that quality in Kolasinac. So for me, it wasn't a particularly big surprise. I did see a story about this last week, and I think I mentioned it on the show, but I can't remember, where they were in talks to see whether or not Kolasinac wanted to leave the club. And then there was some confusion because there was a conflicting report that said that actually he was going to stay at the club. And then there was a rumor that saying that he was a bit homesick and wanted to essentially go back to Germany, not Serbia or wherever it is, from Germany is what I mean by going home. So it's of no surprise when this story came out to me. I kind of like, oh yeah, I figured, because I did see that story the other day. I might as well read that story now if I can find it. Hold on, bear with me. I did just see the story. It is widely being reported today. So Schalke have been on the case of him. I did mention the story last week. I now know it because I remember Schalke was one of the teams. Bear in mind, I say one of the teams. Schalke, I knew, was sniffing around him last week, but they were worried about the fact that obviously he's on very high wages with Arsenal. So it's about, could they afford him? And it's a case of they'll try and make the approach and then see if he'd be willing to take a pay cut. Well, it turns out he is. According to Bild, Sead Kolasinac is so keen to return to his former club Schalke that he will accept a significant pay cut to make the move happen. Under contract until 2022, so he's got 2 years left of the contract. The Bosnian left back is thought to be surplus to requirements at Arsenal, while with Kieran Tierney and Ainsley Maitland-Niles both capable of playing on the left-hand side of the defence. Not to mention, you've also got that option of Saka if you really need it. We reported the other day that Schalke wouldn't mind taking him on loan for the rest of the season, but that he currently earns far too much that they can afford. Having signed for Arsenal as a free agent, he said he'd love to be on £100,000 a week. He said to be on at least £100,000 a week, possibly more. It's £150,000 a week. I know that for sure. In June, billionaire chairman Clems Torrens, maybe, resigned, and Munich-based publication, I'm not even going to try it. No, I'm not even. I was not even going to try it. Claimed that he would introduce a salary cap of 2.5 million euros for next season. They also had to take a 40 million euro loan for the state of North Rhine-Westphalia, just to secure the club's short-term survival. So it does seem like he's looking to go back. He's looking to go back to Schalke. On the flip side of this story further developed about an hour ago. Roma are also looking for a left back. For anyone who doesn't know, Kolarov, who used to be Man City's left back, I always quite liked Kolarov. And I forgot he was still around. Like, I thought he was still playing. Anyway, it looks like Kolarov is moving to Inter Milan. So that's leaving Roma a little short of left back options. And they've been taking a closer look at Kolasinac for a while. So there's said to be a lot of interest. Roma believe that they can get him for as little as £6 million, which, if that does sound cheap, I would like to remind you he was free in 2017. So technically, any amount, any amount of money is profit. More importantly, getting them off our books, I would suggest, is key. So it looks like potentially we could have at least two teams interested in Kolasinac. And without being funny or nothing, and I know people will not like this comment, but I think it's worth making. If your ultimate aim is to get rid of Mesut Ozil, it's all his little bosom buddies you need to start getting rid of. He is one of them. He's a key one to get rid of. So I think I think this will be an interesting one. It'll be interesting to see where we go with this. But the fact that Kolasinac is looking to leave the club, for me, that's half the battle. Now you just need to get some, and the fact that he's looking to take a pay cut is an important step into getting rid of these players. So if the fact is he's willing to take the pay cut, he wants to leave. We've got interested parties. Let's go to the races. That's what I say. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. All right, let me come out of this. By the way, apologies if Come Dine With Me is playing in the background. It kind of is what it is at the moment. Big up to everyone that is in here. I hope you've already slapped a like on this video. Hit that subscribe button. I won't be going too long at the moment. As you guys know, we're going to be doing a build your fantasy football team a bit later on. Shouldn't be too late. I would imagine 10, 11, something like that. We're going to be doing that, and the video won't be too long. So do stick around for that later. Okay. Let's talk about... I've got a number of stories up. Which one should we talk about? Let's talk about... Tell you what, let me get rid of this one. Let's talk about Sampdoria. So obviously, I think everyone was a little worried, especially myself, when Elneny started playing well against MK Dons. So much so, I remember turning to Lee during the watch along, saying, do you don't think Arteta is going to start getting ideas, do you? Like ideas of keeping him? You just never know. You never know. You never know how attractive a player might seem when they're playing well without realizing what their actual quality is. Now, to be fair to Elneny, I know he's supposedly had a very good year in Turkey and has played pretty well. Obviously, having a lot of consistent football, because he's never been a consistent player for us. He's always been cover for someone else. He was even cover for Coquelin when he first came into the squad. Well, having that consistent football has probably allowed him to blossom a little bit as a player. I know that sounds laughable, but it's probably allowed him to blossom a little bit as a player. And now, so much so that teams are now starting to take a closer eye on him. One of those said teams is said to be Sampdoria. Yes, Sampdoria is interested in Mohamed Elneny, would you believe? They're looking to sign him on a season-long loan because no one seems to be willing to take a full gamble on him, but they're looking to try and to get him on a season-long loan. And, from our point of view, yes, it's a shame that these guys won't be taking on a permanent deal, but I think I'm at the point now where I just want someone to take Mohamed Elneny, even if it's for another year. For me, keeping this guy is just another excuse that they have ready for why they haven't signed a Thomas Partey. I don't want them to have that excuse. So I think from my perspective, I think he's done well. Me and Alex Gomez, big up to Alex, good lad, often disagree, but good lad. He basically, I say good lad, he's much, much older than me. I should have more respect, really. Sorry, apologies. He said to me flat out that he felt that he was a good player and didn't understand the ridicule. But for me, this guy is just someone who I truly believe has no future at Arsenal, especially if it had anything to do with me. And we just got to be looking at levels above this. From my point of view, this is what I mean by fans need to be more ambitious. You can't look at Mohamed Elneny, and yes, he did have 2 good games. He did. But you can't look at Mohamed Elneny and then say, oh, well, well, he's all right. Why don't we give him another chance? No, man, because if you're trying to compete for leagues, for top fours, you got to demand the best from your team. Mohamed Elneny is not the best that we can possibly get. So I think, from my perspective, I think we just need to be looking at a higher level of player. And if Sampdoria is interested in taking him, I know that there were lots of rumors that there was Olympiacos was looking at him. There were rumors that Istanbul wanted him. So he obviously has options, I would suggest. And I think for him, for his own career, I think it's best that he just takes one of those options, and don't waste too much time at Arsenal. But anyway, this Sampdoria story is coming from Italian outlet Tutto Mercato. So if you want to catch that story, please go check that out. And obviously, the Sampdoria coach, for anyone who doesn't know, is Claudio Ranieri. So he obviously is aware of the player. So it'll be interesting to see if he ends up there. Time will tell. I reported on a lot of these stories yesterday, so I won't go into too much depth on them right now. I told you about Hosimawa wanting a Premier League switch, so I won't talk about that right now. Yeah, there's one more story I wanted to talk about, and I've completely forgotten what it is. Would you believe? What is the other story I wanted to talk about? I completely forgot. Oh, of course, Mr. Hector Bellerin. Hector Bellerin is being linked once again with a move to PSG. PSG, as I told you guys, I think last week, they lost their right back to Borussia Dortmund, didn't they? And they've obviously been on the lookout for um, other right back options. And one of those options is set to be Hector Bellerin. We found out last week that Pirlo was allegedly very keen on Hector Bellerin until Fabrizio Romano denied that on Lee Gunner's stream. So it'll be interesting to see who we believe. I honestly believe, weirdly, even though I don't rate Hector Bellerin, just one of them guys that has good PR. And I think that there'll be more teams interested in him than not. Whether they'll be able to take the punt is another question. I would suggest PSG are. They are a club that play their players a lot. They can buy their players for whatever. And if you're trying to raise 25 million that you're trying to raise for Ainsley Maitland-Niles, raise that for Hector Bellerin. Raise that for Hector Bellerin. And I think we're often away to the races to buy whoever it is that we want to. Those are the sort of players that we should be looking to sell, not some of our better players, in my opinion. But yes, this story that about Hector Bellerin, when I can find it, tell me I've not closed it. I probably have closed it because I'm an idiot. I did see this story before I went live, and I always like to keep these stories up just in case someone wants to deny that this story is. Oh, I've got to talk about Mesut Ozil. I forgot about that. I'll try. Yes. So I'm just trying to get the story up. Sorry, guys. So French outlet Paris United. I've never heard of them before in my life. Sounds like a group backyard football team, but Paris United are prepared, apparently, to spend up to 30 million euros to bring in the Spanish right back. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, it just started a weekend, but from what I understand, he's rejected all temptation to have a new contract. He's obviously got 2 years left from the one he signed years and years ago. He signed like a 6-year deal years and years ago. So he's got 2 years left on that deal. So we'll see what happens with Hector Bellerin. Me personally, I'd like to see him go just because I'd like us to bring in a right back, but we'll see what happens. What do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. And then finally, I want to talk about Mesut Ozil. Obviously, anyone who's seen his Twitter page today He's been doing fitness training with Matteo Flamini, billionaire Matteo Flamini. Been just doing general fitness training. Again, for anyone who doesn't know, this is one of Mesut Ozil's very best friends. This was Flamini. And yeah, basically, I guess he's focused on the new season. But obviously, it's a very open secret that Arsenal want him out as soon as possible. He's been very determined to say that he will resist any offer to try and get him out of the club, and because supposedly he cares about the club, I don't know. And yeah, well, another offer's coming. This time it's from a Middle East, specifically clubs in Saudi Arabia and Qatar. Are very interested in signing Mesut Ozil. Now, before you immediately dismiss this, I mean, let's face it. I would suggest that wherever Mesut Ozil plays football, unless it is China or the Middle East, it is going to be a drop in pay. Whereas if he goes now, forget the fee, take him. Forget the fee. I'm not talking about a transfer fee. Just take him. And then they can pay him whatever he wants. So he can maintain whatever lifestyle he currently has. I think you'd feel comfortable there as well. I think you'd like, Saudi Arabia. I think he would like that whole lifestyle. Like, he's obviously, they follow the same religion, but it's not even just about that. It's more about just the lifestyle, the calmness over there. The press are, shall we say, not too active over there. So I think he would like that. And it feels like a lifestyle that would just suit him. Just the general kind of like Middle Eastern sort of upbringing. Anyway, in my opinion, anyway, just an observation from me. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But supposedly they have made contact with Arsenal for a move to sign him, not next summer, this summer. So we'll see what happens because Ozil is determined to see out his contract with Arsenal. But then again, if he doesn't feel like he's losing out on anything, maybe he takes the punt. What do you guys think? Again, let me know. Leave it in the comments below. Now, I told you this was going to be a real quick show. I don't want to go on for too long. I just want to have a quick check just in case I have missed any donations, which I did. That's why I corrected myself. Alex. But thank you for your donation, bro. I appreciate that. Yes, so what I'm going to do, guys, thank you for the 144 people watching. Please do me a favor, slap a like on this video, hit the subscribe button. I'll be back later this evening. I'll be back. We'll build the fantasy football team together. I'm relying on you guys to help me. By the way, I'm relying on you guys to help me build a good team. So we'll build it together. I'm going to set up the league as well so that you guys can simultaneously join while we're building it. And yeah, it should be good fun. It should be just a nice change of pace and a good fun video for all of us to have. For not just members, which I'd normally do it for everybody, for members, subscribers, everybody. So hopefully you guys all enjoy that show. I'm hoping, wifey permitting, I'm hoping it'll be around 10 p.m. tonight. So if it's a bit earlier, I'll put it this way, I'll put an announcement out. The best thing to do is just make sure your notification bell is on. And if you don't get a notification bell, YouTube assure me that if you take your notification bell off and then you put it back on, it should work. This is what I'm told. I'm just relaying to you what I'm told. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, in the meantime, I'm off. Please enjoy your evening. I'll be back later. All right? Take care. Enjoy yourself. I'm trying to find my outro. Deuces.